watching Fintech Wave.
What's up, everybody? This is Ken from Fintech Wave. I hope you're well. I'm back with another video, and today's video is called BidenMyTime.crypto. And I think the title and the picture speak for itself. The U.S. is taking a really long time to get their crypto game together. Right now, for the last couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks now, the market has been depressed. The crypto market has been depressed. A lot of it has to do with the ups and downs of the stock market. If the stock market has a really bad day, especially right now with everybody having the crypto jitters, crypto is going to have a bad day. And then we had, a slew of bad news in the last 3 weeks that really kind of took the steam out of the upward momentum in crypto. So to make a bad situation even worse, not only is the United States taking a long time to sort of streamline their whole crypto program, the market is in the doldrums on top of it, So just as a crypto enthusiast, I'm trying to give my take on what is going on. Everybody's been waiting for the Flare Networks launch. This was one of the few good things on the horizon. Everybody's been waiting for the Ripple SEC case to come to closure so we could get some answers. Are we dealing with a currency or are we dealing with a security? And it just seems like they're finding any way to just drag it out. So rather than go into the specifics of which crypto is where and how you can make money and this dropped by that percent and this is managing to stay afloat, and I don't even want to talk about that in this video. What I want to talk about is the mindset behind why things are taking so doggone long, And I feel like you probably already know this, but I'm just going to say it anyway. It's the powerful people in the game that have had things in place a certain way that suits their purpose for a very long time, and they don't want it to change. And if it has to change, then these powerful people want to be positioned a certain way before that change takes place. And it's funny how their perspective on things has evolved. When 3 or 4 years ago, they were like, crypto, I'm not even worried about it. It's a fad. It's going to go to zero. It's garbage. Even amidst all of that, crypto got through this long crypto winter, 2018, 2019, and most of 2020, and still emerged around Christmas time of last year. Bitcoin went to 20,000 again, which is where it was before the huge tank that started the crypto winter. So even through all the adversity, companies in the private sector are continuing to innovate and make these great platforms. DeFi especially is one of the things that kind of, I believe, scares these bankers. And they realize that they're not going to be able to take advantage of people and fleece people anymore the way they used to. Instead of costing you $50 to send $200 from one country to another, you can do it using XRP for pennies. And you can have your transaction settled in 4 seconds. So I'm going to try to keep this report as cogent as possible. I'm only going to touch on a few things. The main theme is the United States is taking too long to get its crypto game together. And we should be much further along based on some of the developments that we've had in crypto and blockchain in the private sector. Just to look at a few of the companies in the private sector: Ripple, fast, cheap payments, okay, Aave, and Uniswap. But instead of nurturing this technology, all we see from the top in the United States is adversity against a burgeoning positive technology that, aside from Bitcoin, in the case of Ripple, is even eco-friendly. And, they're stifling innovation. To put it simply, the United States is stifling innovation. Lately, something came out from the SEC that, we're going after other companies too. Basically, that's the long and short of this. Aside from the Ripple thing, this is what you hear from the SEC. Not, we're coming to closure with this. Hang on, folks. We know China is kind of like running rings around us right now, and we're getting ready to wrap this up. You don't see anything proactive like that being said. What you see is, and any of you other cats that think you're going to get on this crypto thing and knock the banks out of the picture or elbow the banks aside, I got news for you. That's the message. So the theme of this is how powerful people basically slow things down until they're ready to let things proceed. And to show you how powerful people move, I have another piece of poster art for you, TrickyDick.crypto. This NFT is for sale on OpenSea as a bundle with the actual unstoppable domain. If you watch Cryptronic, you can see how unstoppable domains work and what you can do with them. You can receive crypto with them. You can assign them to a website. You can just hold them for posterity. And everybody should know by now that the NFT market is exploding. So something like this NFT would probably have some appeal to anyone who was born in the 60s or 50s, that was old enough to really follow politics when Richard Nixon was in office and understand some of the things he did. This was President Richard Nixon. His nickname was Tricky Dick. When he wanted to get reelected, he sent in special operatives to bug the Democratic National Convention, which was located in a complex called the Watergate complex in Washington. So he sent spies in to bug the place. This is how the power elite move. How can I control this thing? How can I get the information, the edge, the angle that I need? And another example is while Ripple just went out to Southeast Asia to get things further along out there with the whole cross-border payment thing, Ripple's in the penalty box. But what you don't hear about is while Ripple's in the penalty box, you better believe JP Morgan is out in Southeast Asia doing the exact same thing, modeling their whole platform based on the Ripple blueprint. It's cold what's going on. They're basically stifling innovation until they can clone it. And I said that way back. So that's what's happening now. And to go back to Richard Nixon, it's just, devious, underhanded moves that go on. And I think this photo encapsulates that. And just as an aside, Watergate was the name of the complex. And in the public psyche, the end of that name, Gate, it was such a big scandal that you might have heard other things like Hollywood Gate. A big one was Iran-Contra Gate. All right. So anything they put Gate on means controversy. Because of this was the reason, this whole Watergate scandal. And this photo is Richard Nixon basically saying, I'm not a crook, peace, on the day of his resignation, because he knew he was going to get impeached. And rather than go out impeached, he saw the writing on the wall and he resigned. So that's a piece of Americana right there. Americana being the operative word, that brings us back to what's happening right now. Richard Nixon's compliance or participation or even orchestration of that whole Watergate scandal, trying to bug the Democratic National Convention, is a perfect example of how powerful people, because he wasn't acting alone, no president does. It's an example of how powerful people move. And since no presidents act alone, I'm not going to sit here and bash Joe Biden and say he's the reason crypto's not moving. He just got in office, but he is in that ilk of powerful people, and he has powerful people that he has to keep happy. Let's call it what it is. Because if he doesn't keep them happy, if he disappoints them, it could affect his campaign status. It could affect money flows. It could affect things that his party wants to do, bills and policies that they want to pass through, so he can shine on the home front in terms of welfare and schools and hospitals and improvements on COVID treatment and things like that. You piss the people off that have the money to bankroll those moves. And then they turn around and be like, well, when I asked you to kind of put the brakes on or not really intervene in the slowdown on crypto, you kind of went over and were letting some other crypto companies lean into your ear and didn't do really what I wanted you to do. So now it's money time, and I'm sorry, I can't help you, babe. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to spell this out like this, but this is what goes on. He has things he needs to do. Secretly, he might love for crypto to be out front for the United States and for us to be really moving like that. We should be. There's no reason China should be running circles around us the way they are. But he doesn't act of his own volition, okay? And he has to keep that smile going and try to reside in the most beneficial place that he can. If you think about the Roman court of senators, it's the same thing. You tick the wrong senators off, what happens? And I love watching like documentaries on Rome because there's a great parallel. Rome was a great empire that rose and fell. It's what's going on. All they have to do is flip the switch. Ripple's right there. End this SEC thing and, let's get going. And, I'm not even saying maybe the crypto market will go up. It has to go up. They can't keep this thing depressed for long. Look what they've been trying to do. They had it depressed for the longest time, but innovation steamed forward, even behind the scenes, even underground, and got us to where we are now. They had to come out with a barrage of bad news to depress this market. That's the only way they can depress this market, because in and of itself, the crypto market and cryptocurrency and blockchain technology is intrinsically fantastic. So it's very difficult to keep it down. You got bankers like, oh no, Joe can go on the internet, log on to Uniswap, stake his 5Gs and make 2Gs in 6 months. Okay, at the outside, a year it might take you to make a 40% return on $5,000. You stick $5,000 in a bank at the end of the year. I don't know, off the top of my head, you're lucky if you make $50 on 5Gs in a year. Can you imagine? 10 years, you made $500. Come on. You can't even do anything. The masses can't even grow here. This is not a time of prosperity for the masses. And it's almost like whereas they could do a couple of things and help turn the corner to help the masses grow, help people make more money and maybe innovate, start businesses, somebody might be sitting in his garage with the answer to how to really finesse this pandemic situation, and an influx of cash would really help grease those wheels. But instead of doing things to keep things moving on a positive note, it's like this. There's a group of people that are getting all the money. They don't want anybody else to get any. And as long as they can keep people hindered, that's what's going on. And the president of the United States would be making a mistake if he got any of those people upset. He can't. So he has to bide his time. And this is why things are taking a long time, unfortunately. So just as one last note, hey, Mr. President, try to intervene and get something done, because the United States is getting spanked by China right now. And it'll be really nice to see us move ahead, if for nothing else than national pride. All right, I'm signing off. I'll catch you guys on the next video. This is Ken from Fintech Wave. Thanks for checking out this latest episode. If you like the content, please hit like and subscribe. Shout out to all the people who've subscribed already. I'm going to try to keep the quality content coming on Fintech. I appreciate you. And there's a link in the description. The Fintech Wave theme is now an NFT. See you next time, everybody. Take care.